2020 live over here in Akvario, over in Omsk at Siberia country. We're here with the 62nd edition of ESL Open Cup Asia division, or as I like to call it, the all your heavy hitters are preparing for GSL Code A edition. I'm of course your host Yaku of Zaku, and with me today is el que ve a grunge dejar car en New Jack a través de una mesa de prensa, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? I lost track of what the hell you even said. What's up, Yaku? We are here. We are back, as you said, with ESL Open Cup Asia. And even though we are missing some of those big names in Korea, mate, we still got plenty more.
That we do. Quite a number of big names in this bracket that I suppose we'll talk about a little bit later on. But it is a bit of a day of the underdog. We are still in that off season, and we're going to be starting things off with ZvZ. Here on Death Aura, at the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, the pink Zug player coming down from the land of South Korea. Very fresh face here, coming from me. I really have not seen much of them. Representing Team GP, we have Gamja.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. He is blue. He is representing Team or Clan Naive Dream World. It is Yoger.
I have to ask, because I honestly don't remember. Did we cast Yoger last week, or was that a different Taiwanese Zerg player?
We've been casting a lot of Yoger and Naxin, both of them. Last week I can't quite recall which one.
Naxin, that's who it was.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we cast at least one of them.
Yeah, definitely one or the other.
Or both.
Yeah, could be a possibility. I mostly remember because we mostly saw Yoger and the like in DreamHack Taiwan events. You know, they were going up against trying to get that seed for the DreamHack main events, but haven't really seen much of them since then. So yeah, this year they're definitely really popping off quite a bit.
Yeah, I was about to say, fun fact, you said the exact same thing last week.
Yeah, that's why I remember.
Yeah.
Last week.
You're like, I blacked out, mate. I just don't know.
Wait, who won last week?
God.
Played? Wait.
Cure. This is Cure, right?
Last week?
Yeah. Meanwhile, oh my god, things are starting to pop off because Yoger is going for insanely fast lair.
Last week. He is going for a much quicker lair coming out from him. That's my contribution.
I was gonna say, did you just say when was last week?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah.
No, but I'm definitely feeling some Spire coming out of him, just as he proves me wrong, with a bit of a quicker Roach Roaring instead.
Yeah, exactly. We do have the Roach Roaring on the way. So far, he is starting to take the rest of his gases, so he can still opt to go for a Spire. Again, the purpose of the Roach Roaring right now is just to wall off. He didn't even start +1 Roach range or anything like that, so he can still go into that muta play. And honestly, when I saw the bracket, and when I saw this matchup specifically, I did a bit of a double take. I'm pretty sure I saw Gamja in the Code A qualifiers. Not just that, I was like, yo, is this the Gamja of old? And I checked it out. I checked him out on Wikipedia, and it is Gamja. Back in the day, he's an old school player from Heart of the Swarm. Back in 2013, he was on Quantic with Hyun, and yeah, he used to compete in quite a lot of events, quite a lot of like online and even foreign events. But it's really cool to see 7 years later, almost 8 years later, he's back.
That was not something I was prepared for, Light. At all.
Yeah, like a lot of that was again, like Code A qualifiers were earlier this week, and looking at the qualifiers, there were a lot of old school players. There was Gamja, there was I almost said Goka, not Koka, but there was Puzzle.
Insane if he was there.
Yeah, there was a Protoss player Puzzle as well. I was like, oh my god, and a lot of them, they are on Team GP.
Puzzle?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
He's on the bracket.
Well.
Oh boy, and you know, Yoger, he is proving you right. You know, there's the Spire.
Yeah, we have it. You gotta trust me, but it's not gonna be too dedicated to Mutas. With that range upgrade, seems like he's just gonna be using it for a little bit of harass to start things off. See how Gamja we'll see how Gamja reacts to this. Now, it is a much different meta now than it was about 8 years ago.
Yeah. Very much so indeed, as a couple of Lings do slip into the main base. More importantly, they scout the Spire.
Just like so. Should be seeing a ton of spores. There we have it, being thrown down already. But is it going to be enough? I feel like Yoger is getting just the right amount of mutas to start, attacking a couple of these drones back in the way and rinse repeat.
Yeah, exactly. As it looks like the mutas, because they were revealed, they opt not to go across the map. Instead, they're just clearing out a couple of overlords, stray overlords in the center of the map, which, I mean, is some nice damage, as Yoger is working on his third base, but as we see, it is much later compared to that of Gamja.
Absolutely is. There's a lot less flexibility. He does have a bit of the map control at the moment, but how useful is that really going to be for him in the end? I'm just looking at the roach count getting higher and higher here for Gamja.
Exactly. And there's a lot of possibilities, right? I was about to say there's a lot of possibilities. So he does have his lair. If he wants to, he could go for a Nidus. And there it is. Nidus gets thrown down.
Just like so. It's definitely going to be a lot trickier getting vision across the map here, as Yoger is really searching for those overlords, but that's one roach.
There's a one roach. There's an overseer as well. Potential changeling could slip into the main base again. So because Yoger has map control, it's so difficult for a player like Gamja to move out across the map. So that's not what he's going to be doing whatsoever. He is opting to go for the Nidus to try and, I imagine, sneak into the main base. Yoger, he does have some vision in his main base, so he should see it if it goes down.
He does have a little bit of vision at that main, but what is the defense actually looking like? There's that overseer getting prepared. He has just enough vision to get in that edge. Gamja does, and he's going straight for it. All of the army units for Yoger are across the map. He's sending a couple of roaches back now, but even with the creep spread, even with Galera Constitution, it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, they get across the map, and it looks like the Queen's pop-out first transfuse is available if they need it, and the Nidus does stay alive. And now a mass amount of roaches are going to come out, and I don't think Yoger has enough.
He very much doesn't. That's a lot of Queens on Gamja's side of the map. On Gamja's army right now, Light, and they are taking out so many overlords. Hard supply cap in Yoger. Those Mutalisks are gonna have to think twice before engaging into this. And now, I mean, Yoger, even trying to push up with his roaches up a ramp into Gamja's concave. This is not his game whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. The main base is completely forfeit. The spawning pool is going to go down. The main hatchery, thankfully, this wasn't a lair, but the Spire is here. And as you said, there's not really much that Yoger can do. Yoger can hold the ramp because, the ramp is really awkward to move down, but he has completely given up his main.
He has. He's given up that main. He's given up a lot of his tech right now. I'm just looking at a mini-map right now, Light, and I'm trying to think, what is Yoger going to be doing with his mutas?
Yeah.
He does not have a lot of them.
He doesn't know.
He's a little indecisive.
Yeah, for the past, 5 minutes, he's been, zooming back and forth. He doesn't know what to do with his mutas. The problem is that there are spores all over the place. What can he do?
The mutas are pacing back and forth. They're trying to think, get the blood circulating.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
God. And just like that, it's too late. The Queens come back home to defend. The mutas have achieved absolutely nothing. Only a couple of overlords have gone down. And with that, Yoger, to be fair, he is still in 2 bases. He was able to keep the majority of his drones alive, which is great, to be honest. But again, there's so much momentum in Gamja's favor. And oh my God, he can even shoot down from the high ground.
Getting so many Niduses as well, really entrenching his position here. The Queens have gone back home, so there's not a lot of anti-air potential. You gotta evacuate, Gamja. You gotta evacuate out of here. Apparently, he does not.
Oh my God, the Queens are popping out. No, but the Queens, they're trapped. Everything here in the main base is gonna go down, and just like that, Yoger is able to take the swing, take the lead in the army supply.
Man, Gamja really overestimating his position here. He needed to back away the minute those roaches secured their position up that ramp. But no, he, for some reason, really thought he could just throw down a bunch of Niduses, maybe try to get some transfuses out and really take the win over there. That was very huge miscalculation, to say the least.
Yeah. The problem was that all these Queens and the 3 Queens that died across the map, they were in the Nidus, right? They were defending against the mutas at home. They weren't with the main army, so they weren't there to transfuse. They weren't there to really bolster the army of Gamja. And with that, Gamja's army was fragmented. It all went down. And now suddenly Yoger is going across the map with the supply lead.
Man, Yoger had so much inertia that he became the momentum.
It's exactly what happened, mate. As the Road Ravagers pushing into the third base, the Mutants are even, they're helping out as well. They're trying to focus down some of the Queens. The Queens will fall. GG gets called.
Yoger. I don't even know how to describe that light. It felt like he was just about halfway in the grave. Dirt was being poured on top of his coffin, but then he just busted out.
Mm-hmm. That he did. GG, well played. Yoger takes the first game here against, one of the old school Koreans.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, he's telling you, mate, you've been gone for 8 years. Times have changed, mate.
Yeah. It's no longer Jim anymore. He's retired. It's all about time now.
It is. Also, yes, Manekino in the chat.
Yeah. I was actually about to bring that up because that was, I think, one of the first things I've ever heard about StarCraft 2 esports.
Oh, really?
It was brought up in a co-optional podcast episode by TB.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Bujaltz, of course, the CEO or the owner of Quantic. Yeah, the owner of Quantic Gaming. Not only did he screw Hyun out of massive amounts of money, he also faked his own death and then got spotted partying.
He did not fake his own death, but he did drop off the face of the earth, as in he
faked his own death.
He basically shut himself off from social media and kind of went dark, and yeah, it's I
prefer how TV described it.
It is yeah, it is a bit of a shame. There's some dark parts of StarCraft's history there. Hyun, there was.
Hyun never saw that money.
No, of course not. Of course not. Yeah. There was a fundraiser for Hyun as a result of that happening, and he did fund some money in it, and I believe it was just like to pay for flights to go to other events. But yeah, it was really sad what happened to Hyun.
Wild West. But speaking of Hyun. We now have a former teammate of Hyun being very aggressive this game. He is starting in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, which of course stands for Lover's Evacuation. That's what Gamja wanted to do, but was unfortunately unable to do. Representing Team GP, he is into the Gamja.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, I believe getting 13-12 right now, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. He is red. He is representing Naive Dream World, going for the Hatch Gas Pool. Jesus Christ. We have Yoger. Oh boy.
Earliest pool you can really get in the current state of the game.
Yeah. As opposed to, I don't know if you remember this, but there was like a 12-11 or something that we saw last week. There was an incredibly early gas pool, I believe. But yeah, this will still hit hard, and this is kind of best case scenario for Gamja. Right now, it's all about Yoger and how good his drone micro is going to be.
Which is going to be pretty difficult even then, because Gamja, he completely pulled off the gas. He's 100% link flooding. Or is he? He's expanding now.
Yeah, he is expanding. He is droning up behind this, so we'll see how much the links can do. Again, he did pump out a couple extra links on the way, so as in total, he does have 10 of them, and we'll see how much damage he can get done. Ideally, he gets to kill this base, but Yoger, he's going to have to pull some boys if he wants to save it.
He's not pulling any boys.
Mate, he's just giving it up. I mean, there are a couple of links coming out, so maybe he can micro, but there's just so many links here for Gamja.
That there are, and they will have link speed as well. It's going to be a lot easier for Gamja to micro these than Yoger. I think Yoger underestimated how committed Gamja was going to be to this offense, and he's paying the price for it.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, the natural base does go down. Unfortunately, Yoger, like he tried to save it, but again, you have to pull boys. You have to pull a couple of drones to be able to pull that off. And now Gamja, he's got link speed, but there are defensive banelings here for Yoger.
Yeah, they're still a little bit early on. Okay, they're about to finish right now. Gamja not wanting to take the risk and not wanting to try to kill those banelings before they hatch up. I mean, he had no idea when Yoger started making them, so Yeah, definitely playing it a lot safer, and he can really afford to.
Oh my god.
He's got the second base up.
He does.
He's not all in.
And oh yeah, 100%. Like again, like there were these initial 10 lings, and that's it. Like ever since then, Gamja has been joining up. As we do see, Gamja has a massive worker lead. And oh my god, Yoger, his ling speed is so late. Like it's so difficult to really be aggressive across the map without ling speed.
It really is, and best case scenario for him right now is to just try to hardcore out macro Gamja at the moment. To be fair, on Romantic's side, it is a little bit easier to defend. He can take that third base, and as long as he's got the creep connecting them, he should be able to entrench himself pretty decently, but yeah, we'll see how he decides to play it out.
Yeah, because the problem is that right now Gamja has full map control. Not just that, but like he has the freedom to drone up. He's even taking his third base. Like he can do whatever he wants right now. Yoger, he's in a really precarious situation. And it looks like he has a couple of options, right? Like he can either go for like a 2-base all-in, go for a fast layer, or he's doing what he's currently doing, and that is to just get up to third bases and 3 bases and try and catch up.
Yeah, honestly, I think this might be the right call here for Gamja, just going off of the map, but could also just be because Yoger, he is feeling pretty confident. I mean, he may very well be one of those players who it might be what you said earlier, like, you know, Yoger is really saying, listen, my opponent's been gone for like years. He doesn't know the maps, he doesn't know the meta. I, meanwhile, have been researching.
There you go, there you go. Again, like I really find it impressive. I don't know if Team GP had anything to do with it, or you know, if these players on their own they just came back, but it's really cool to see a lot of these old school players take interest in StarCraft again. And we did see they did attempt to qualify for Code A, but the Code A qualifiers were earlier this week. It's done, it's over, but they're still here playing in the ESL Open Cup, and ooh, Yoger is looking to be a little bit aggressive here, morphing in even more banelings.
Yeah, he might as well at this point. He did realize he maybe overcommitted just a tiny little bit on the lings earlier on, even with that spine crawler, so he's just trying to make use of what he's got. If this fails, he will be given up map control, but honestly, I don't think it's the worst case. It's the worst thing in the world for him.
Honestly, I'm impressed.
A couple of defensive spines back at home.
I'm impressed by Yoger's lane bane control. Maybe I've seen too much of Miyamika, and
I think that's what it is.
I've seen the worst of it, but so far he's been doing really well. But oh god, he has to split his banelings. Again, it only takes.
Definitely been a little bit better, but could have been a lot worse too for Yoger.
Yeah, Yoger, he was just trying to be a little bit aggressive. He hasn't traded poorly whatsoever, but like he also hasn't been able to achieve much here, and Gamja has been able to defend well enough to the point where he has roaches.
Really does, and I mean Yoger, he had a lot of lings earlier on, but we're getting to the point where there's just too many roaches for Gamja to really have them isolated. Yoger, meanwhile, really just trying to play catch up, and I did say that I liked the idea of him trying to out macro Gamja here and get himself out of that position, but he might have overcommitted just a little bit to the defense.
Yeah, like he has to catch up in so many ways. Like we have the Roach Warren that's about to finish up, we have the Evo Chamber. Meanwhile, Gamja, he already has +1, he already has his roaches, lair is a lot faster for him as well. I think thankfully for Yoger, Gamja neglected his lair for the longest time. Like the differences between their lair timings isn't that big, which is surprising. I feel like Gamja should have gotten his lair a lot faster. Without lair, like roach speed is so long away, so Yoger should feel a little bit safe.
Yeah, he's definitely got time available for him to buy. As long as he's able to buy it.
Yeah, as long as he's got the money, you know.
As long as he's got the... I actually don't remember who Kai's gaming sponsors are.
They don't have any sponsors, right?
Oh, right.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, it's literally funded by that one business guy who's like, I really like StarCraft.
Yeah, most Chinese teams are like that.
They are.
Oh boy, and I mean Yoger's trying to be a little bit cheeky. I like this, except there's a spine here. Like these banelings shouldn't connect. Yeah,
they kind of do, but they don't connect well. Is the thing.
They don't connect with what they want to, which is the drones, of course.
And of course, you want to make a connection.
Oh my god!
To be able to sustain
the beef.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Yeah, you need that connection, you know, if you want to stroke that beef, mate. Oh god.
I'm still waiting for Milk to cast with you so you can introduce him to this.
Jesus Christ. But as things are slowly getting away, yo, these two, they're on the same wavelength as they both throw down their spires at around the same time.
Did Gamja see the spire of Yoger here?
No.
Okay. That could actually be a pretty good way for Yoger to come back into this game. He needs to be pretty sneaky with his Mutasil. He needs to make sure he never reveals his hand anytime too quick. Be able to jump around and avoid the Mutas of Gamja and go straight for those mineral lines. I don't think Yoger's going to be able to win any battles with Mutalis, considering his current position, but he can get a lot of harassment done.
That he can, and okay, now the Roaches are finally pushing out across the map. They do get spotted by the Overlord of Yoger, so he's well aware. I don't know where his Roaches are going, but he's completely
trying
missing.
to intercept them.
Not at all, as the Roaches are going to be going up the ramp, and I guess Yoger wants to go
for a base trade.
Yeah, he wants to go for a base trade.
Well, you might as well. If you know that your opponent has so many more Roaches than you and they're about to be better upgraded, not confident in your ability to defend, just don't defend.
But he also doesn't really attack either, because it looks like he's trading fairly well, but with the reinforcements of Roaches, like Yoger gets pushed away, and as a result, mate, he's lost everything at home. Like everything at the third, the natural, the spire. Oh no.
Is gonna go down, and Gamja should be getting a couple spores back at home. But not even. He knows he's got the better production. He knows he can just outproduce Mutas and use that for his anti-air. GG is called, and Gamja is gonna come back and say, you know what? I may have been gone, but I have experience, and I'm gonna tie up the series sideways 1-1.
There you go, there you go. Starting off incredibly aggressive with the early pool and early gas timings. But yeah, that was amazing there by Gamja, able to tie up the series as we are getting into the ace match.
Indeed, we are. Meanwhile, I'm just keeping my eye on this current bracket as Aries, for the first time in ever, potentially, our very own CranKy Terran / Zerg / Malaysian / Singaporean player is competing in this current bracket, and he just got knocked out by Puzzle.
Yeah. I mean, it's to be expected. Again, Puzzle is, if it's the same Puzzle from back in the day, who's also on Team GP, then yeah, he's also got a wealth of experience, an ex-pro gamer looking to come back and, yeah, come back into competitive play.
Or it could just be somebody taking up that mantle of Puzzle.
It's true, it's true. I can actually check.
Can you? Light delves deep and stuff. Okay, you already got the result.
It's the Puzzle from yeah. He used to be on Slayers back in the day, back in 2011.
Oh, very very old school. Right from the beginning of StarCraft 2. So yeah, it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a nostalgic guy, but I do like seeing old players come back and return, like this player here in the top right hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha KBBLE. He is coming down from the land of South Korea, used to represent Quantic Gaming, and he's being very aggressive once again, representing Team GP. He is Gamja.
And sporting in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE. Once again, this man is getting 13-12, and once again, he's going for a hatch first opening. We have the Taiwanese Zerg representing Clan Naive Dream World. Maybe he is playing this a little bit too naively. We have Yoger.
Still dreaming around somewhere.
He's still got that sparkle in his eye, mate. Meanwhile, Gamja, his was snuffed out long ago.
It was. Got snuffed out when he saw Hyun not get paid.
Exactly. Oh boy. So yeah, I love it. Again, I wasn't 100% sure if that was the Puzzle of old, but it is. Yeah, that is the Puzzle who back in the day, he was on Slayers for SC2. Even before that, he played Brood War. He was on, oh god, what was it? Something Fox. He was on
We Made Fox.
Yeah, We Made Fox. There we go.
Yeah, not a team. And also TY's team from way back when he's played Brood War.
Yeah.
Of course, he was sort of his baby back then.
Very old school players. Great to see them back, especially in today's bracket where a lot of the newer players, a lot of the big hitters like Zest, Trap, and Stats, they're not here.
You know, getting ready, preparing for Code A. Qualifiers were just about last week, and I actually have to double check when the schedule is. And so we get a double check. Here comes Yoger pulling the boys. He cannot be fooled twice, but you know what? Might have been a bit of a trap here for Gamja.
Yeah, exactly. So far, he hasn't lost a single drone, which is honestly pretty impressive micro so far. But oh, the Lynx get caught out a little bit. He has to attack together with his drones.
And he's trying. This is just about the sweet spot for Yoger to be attacking, because there we go. Link speed has just about finished up, and Gamja can quite literally run circles around these drones.
But you know what? Yoger has not lost a single drone.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite a bit of lost binding time, but the most important thing is he is still slightly ahead when it comes to drone count.
That he is. Meanwhile, oh, the Lynx are fighting without the support of the Queens for a little bit there, so a couple of Lynx of Yoger did go down. He did prioritize getting Banelings. The Baneling is being morphed in. That did delay his own Lynx speed, unfortunately, but it does mean that Yoger is securing himself to make sure he doesn't die.
Indeed, he is, and he has not died, so...
Oh boy, so he is able to defend a much cleaner defense there compared to the first game, as again, the first game he lost his hatchery. Like, he was so far behind after that happened. But here in game 3, he's learned his lesson.
He will no longer be playing catch up. He is a mustard.
Shaking my head. Meanwhile, Gamja is switching things up himself, as he is droning up a little bit, but more importantly, he is working on his Baneling nest and sending plenty of Lings across the map, looking to try and maybe end the game a little bit early here. Like, the hatchery is still less than half health.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure whether or not Gamja would commit to this, but I guess we now know the answer. He is a man of commitment. He wants to be able to get the objective done that he set out for himself. In this case, kill that. That's what I'm thinking of here. Like, second base, natural base. There we go.
Yeah, as we do see, Gamja is making a couple more Lynx. He's even morphing in a couple of Banelings as well, defensively at home. Meanwhile, ooh, his Queens are getting pretty aggressive, already able to kill one Overlord, trying to hunt down another.
Do you think he's gonna pull a Mio-Micah here?
I would love it. I don't know.
Okay, he's being a bit more conservative here. He just wants to kill that Overlord. Getting Queen a little bit of opposition, but the Banelings do come in and chase away the Lynx of Yoger, so he is not too afraid.
Oh,
getting that Queen caught out.
Exactly. And behind this Gamja, he's just droning up. You know, we see him take his gases. He's taking his Roach Warren as well, taking up to get into those roaches. Meanwhile, ooh, there's a bit of Link bait. Oh no! Oh.
Beautiful connection here for Gamja. And still plenty of forces available for the defense here for Yoger, but that was absolutely huge, and that was even huger. Huger is a word, but...
Oh my god, beautiful connections there by Gamja. Oh my god,
Yoger moving just a little bit too much.
Exactly, 2 Banelings wasted on morphing Banelings of Gamja. So Yoger, previously he had an immaculate Ling Bane control, but he's just falling apart a little bit here.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when he also has to manage actually having a base himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to keep up in terms of the drone production. He has for the most part, except the problem is that right now he's contained to 2 bases. Meanwhile, Gamja has his third up and running.
He does have that third up and running, but he delayed Lair for quite a bit more than Yoger has.
True.
Lair is already up and running, and he is working on that Spire Light. I don't think Yoger wants to get a third base for a long time.
Mate, what's Yoger going for? Say it.
Base multiple.
2 base Muta coming out here from Yoger. It's incredibly ballsy. Like, it's incredibly risky to go for something like this. So far, he has been able to successfully defend, and I don't think that Yoger has been able to really sniff out what his opponent's doing, but this is scary. There are no Overlords in the middle of the map. Yoger has no idea this is coming. Finally, he sees it with his own Overlords, but it's too late. Like, he needs spines. He needs more than one, mate. Oh my god. Oh no.
It's a lot more than what he currently has. To be fair, this isn't a particularly high roach count for Gamja, so if he has enough Lings, Yoger should be able to surround these and take them out as they are isolated, but actually he's just turned all of his Lings to the Banelings.
Yeah, and even if he...
Massive bust here right on top of that base. Oh,
the hatchery's gonna go down. The Banelings are gonna connect as well. 19 drones. And I was about to say, even if Yoger did have Lings, there were Banelings to deal with them. GG gets called.
very well played from Gamja over here. Some very nice old school aggression that he's bringing back, and he's going to be advancing to face Art in the next round. Well played.
GG, well played. Congratulations to Gamja as he does take out his opponent, and as you said, we will follow him into his next series.
Yeah, it will be a ZVP, but not necessarily the ZVP that we might be expecting here.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, two players who we very rarely get the opportunity to cast.
Yeah, recently we have been casting a little bit more of Art as he is a Polish Protoss. Him and Brad OK have been kind of showing up a little more frequently in these events, and a lot of that does come down to the fact that I believe Art is living in Korea right now.
I was about to ask that because I saw that he played in the GSL qualifiers.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, now it makes more sense as to why he's playing in the ESL Open Cups recently. Because I was like, it's kind of odd that he started playing in them again, but because he played in Codes, like that has to mean he's residing in Korea.